The only thing I don't understand, I felt like, see, so this is the thing, right? I know that we are not privy to probably most of the stuff that happens on these reality shows, right? I get that they shoot for hours and hours and hours and hours, and they have to get all of that footage, right? And then reduce it down to like, excuse me, to like a 45, 50-minute show. And I know that we don't know these folks' relationships outside of the show. We know that some of them cut up and turn up for the camera. Like, I think that most of us pretty much know that for Robin, even though she's wrong in a lot of the stuff that she does, it almost feels like to some of us that the producer stepped in and told her, girl, you need to turn it up a notch. Because the way that Robin is moving in season 7, she hasn't really moved like that in any seasons prior. But for the life of me, why is Candace and Wendy apologizing? Did Karen apologize when she tried to get Candace fired in season 5? Maybe she did and we're just not privy to that. Why is Wendy apologizing? Didn't I tell y'all? And even some of y'all said the same thing. Robin is still upset that Wendy wore her out a little bit last year when they was on that little vacation in the woods, wherever they was at. Let's just go into Real Housewives of Potomac season 7 episode. I don't know what episode this is, girl. Reasonably Shady is doing just fine. You know, I really can't say anything about the podcast because I've never listened to it. I have heard people say that it's actually decent. They did receive a nomination, in the NAACP award nomination. So, I mean, I guess shout out to Robin and Giselle. Robin tells Giselle about Wendy. I feel like I'm yelling all in y'all face. I don't know why I feel like I'm yelling. Robin tells Giselle, now I feel like I'm whispering. I need to get it together. Robin tells Giselle about Wendy hugging her. Remember when they went out to the club? She says, like, girl, this has been going on for over a year. And see, that's the problem, right? Because I have been saying since like review number 1, number 2, like, Robin, you're clearly still upset because last year when Wendy was telling you to be quiet, leave it alone, ask your homegirl, you kept digging into some stuff that she was telling you to be quiet, and you end up getting a little tap, 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 tap too. And you still mad that Wendy cussed you out. That's why Robin is still mad. Robin is still mad because Wendy cussed her out last year. And instead of Robin just saying, hey girl, it bothered me that the way that you spoke to me last year, right? Whatever. But she won't say that. So you've come into season 7 and Wendy thinking, girl, that was way last year. I said what I said. You said what you said, and we moving on. But it's like, no, girl, I still have an issue with you. But even then, we could take it all the way back to the beginning when you were calling Wendy loose. Girl. And Wendy had every right to cut. And before somebody even says anything, Wendy has every right to have cussed Robin out, because the truth of the matter is, we know that Giselle and Robin are a duo. So whatever Wendy thought that Robin knew, or she had a conversation with Giselle, why you asking me these questions? Like, she had every right to cuss Robin out last year. She did. Girl, the girl was already in the heat of the moment. Y'all trying to bring some mess into her marriage. Ashley and Giselle were. And here you go talking about what's going on and blah, blah, blah. Girl, just shut up and sit there like everybody else. Wasn't nobody saying nothing last year when Wendy was going off except for who? Robin. Karen sat there. Mia sat there. Candace sat there. Who else is there? I don't remember. A scholar sat there. The only person that really started interjecting themselves was, oh girl, Robin. Anyways, girl, we moving on. Um, they talk about Candace. She tells her that I guess she's meeting up with Candace. She basically says, she's upset about what happened at the table. They keep trying to change it to that. Well, that's what she said. I'm not having this conversation again. We already talked about it. We know what Candace said. It was a move that Robin shouldn't have done. You don't do that to friends. You don't put friends in a position where they could, even if they said what they said, you don't put your friends in a position, even if they said what they said on the World Wide Web, you don't put your friends in a position where, girl, they have to now, defend themselves, be attacked, for lack of a better word, at a table full of people when half of the people, most of the people, if not all of the people, don't like her. I think Wendy was at the table, so most of the people at the table don't like her. A producer told Candace that basically what she said. A producer told Candace that she did say what she said about Karen and Ray. Candace says Robin is the one that she trusts the most, and I look up to the most. And that's why I was giving that whole spiel earlier, because the conversation between Robin and Giselle, I never knew that they were this close, to the point where, girl, Robin looked at Candace like a little sister, and Candace looked at Robin as the one that she trusts the most. Have Candace and Robin been in any type of conflict for the past 5 seasons? Going on 5 seasons? No, right? The only ones that Candace has had conflict with pretty much everyone on the show. But that was more in retaliation of them talking about her living in her mama house. Did Chris buy your wedding ring? And even the conflict with Karen, that was not even necessarily, well, until it got to that point. But anyways, I'm going off into a whole rant. I just never knew that, again, for the last 5 seasons of Candace being on the show, that girl, her and Robin were that close. Like, I was like, girl, where did this come from? To the point where, girl, you crying. I was like, okay. And when did Robin start looking at you like a little sister? I was like, okay, girl. Okay. I didn't know it was that deep between. I'm getting loud again, yelling in your face. I know that Candace supports Giselle. I know Candace supports Robin, because she gonna always wear them hats. She will support Robin. But I didn't know that it was to the point where, girl, they were that close. I thought it was just more of some support of, a co-worker. Support of, I was about to say a black woman. Let me stop. I know some of y'all get mad when I start talking about Robin not being black. She says that she feels horrible. Again, I'm confused. I'm confused on why the fuck Candace and Wendy is doing all this apologizing, and why Candace feel horrible. Why do you feel horrible for Robin putting you in a position to look like a fool at a table when she knows that you don't get along with most of the women at the table? Why do you feel horrible for Robin's actions? Why do you feel horrible? Why would Candace feel horrible? Because you yelled at her for something that you felt like she did to you? The person who just said that you were her little sister and you look up to her the most? Why would you feel horrible? That's what I'm saying. It's some shit going on behind the scenes that we just don't know about. Because some of this shit ain't adding up to me. I could even see if she said she felt horrible about what she said about Karen. I could. Because in that situation, if Candace would have said, I felt horrible when I realized when the producer told me what I said about Karen, because we did say that we were moving on. I did say that I forgave her for whatever happened in the past and I was going to let it go. So it looks like I'm not a woman of my word, and I'm going back to try to be evil and, vile and nasty, and that's not what I'm trying to do. So I feel horrible. So you see what I'm saying? Like, that would make more sense to me. But I don't know why she would feel horrible about Robin. Okay, girl, let's move on. Karen wants to have a live show. I guess like a variety show. No tea, no shade. I'm not trying to be funny. Shout out to Karen. Karen gonna, girl, whatever stick against the wall, that's what she gonna do. It don't sound like Karen doing shit. Girl, it sounds like Karen gonna hire everybody to do whatever needs to be done, and she's just gonna come out. She gonna slap her name on the marquee, right? Or the flyer, in hopes of people coming out. But it sounds like the people that's going to be doing the most work are the drag queens and the singers and the entertainers and performers. Because when he was talking, when the white man was talking, the only thing I heard him talking about was Karen changing clothes and looking like Diana Ross. I said, well, what the hell is she going to be doing? I said, okay. Robin and Candace meet up. Robin's hairstylist, sister and brother-in-law got into, I think, a bad car wreck and passed away. So Robin is really emotional. She's, been knowing her hairstylist, I think her friend. So, I'm sure she knows her family too for like the last 16 years. So she was very emotional. That's when Robin but they end up talking about whatever issues they have. Robin tells Candace, I feel like you're my little sister. That little sister shit is some bullshit. One thing I realized about the women on TV, this Real Housewives mess, is when the girls start talking about you, my little sister, watch out for them. Okay? When they start talking about you, my little sister, you better watch out for them. Because they're going to treat you. Because you know what I think it is, right? This is what I told myself. I think that because we have this thing where like the oldest person out of the siblings should be the most respected, right? And if they're the oldest, then they don't really have to have that much respect for anybody younger than them. You see does that make sense what I'm saying? So I feel like whenever you see these conversations about, oh, you're my little sister, I'm the big sister, it's almost like you're supposed to have some type of, I just got eating a cookie. I know I should have brushed my teeth and floss before I did this video. Okay, so you know how like you have those people where I'm gonna go ahead and say it. All the people that call the girl Nene called Portia her little sister. She almost got into a whole fight with Portia. Monique done called Candace her little sister. We see how that worked out. We see Robin calling Candace her little sister. We see how that worked out too, girl. Like, you have to be real careful with the little sister. Girl, here we go. You have to be real careful with the little sister, big sister stuff, because it can come back to bite you in the ass. Because they're gonna treat you like a little sister. And then Candace says, I don't know, Candace and Wendy, I don't know what type of game I'm gonna go ahead and say, I was looking at them like they were like the wackest ones on the show. I was like, why are we doing this? And y'all know I go off for Candace and I go off for Wendy. But girl, I was looking at them like they were the wackest ones on the show. I'm like, what is really the tea? Because even Candace says, I understand where you're coming from. How do you understand how do you understand where Robin is coming from when you said, and when other people have said, that even on the live, you hyped up, not Karen, Robin. Did I say Karen? Whatever, child. How do you understand where Robin is coming from when you even said on Watch What Happens Live, and other people have said in the comment section and online, that you even hyped up Robin in your live? So how can you understand where she's coming from about her feeling as though, girl, maybe you should, make sure, watch what you say the next time, so I guess she wouldn't feel like you're directing that energy towards her, when you actually gave her props in the video. So why would you understand where she's coming from? Like, when I say, baby, I was like, baby, what the fuck? That don't make sense, right? All right. She basically tells Candace, just be careful next time. Bitch, I would have got my keys, my purse, and baby, how I tell the girl, don't tell me shit, bitch, because I didn't even say nothing about you. I don't know if Candace was just doing that because, girl, that wasn't the time to fuss, fight, and argue because his lady friend just lost her, close ones. I don't know. Mia and Gordon, they open up another joint chiropractor. I don't know if, girl, it looked like it wasn't nobody there. I don't know, child. She tells one of the ladies that Jeremiah is going to be the future CEO. I said, the future CEO of what? Because from the last time you opened up your mouth and told us, girl, y'all ain't have shit to run. Did she tell us that just a couple of weeks ago? So what is Jeremiah going to be running? Karen says, I don't throw my friendships away. That's not how I roll. Some of y'all don't know the real Karen. We know how Karen moved with her friendships, but I'm going to leave it alone. Ashley. Ashley goes over to her uncle, whatever his name is, and her aunts. She tells them that her and Michael are arguing in front of Dean, which is actually really, really sad. She said that her and Michael, y'all need to stop arguing in front of y'all kids because y'all kids know what's going on. She said her and Michael will argue in front of Dean, and Dean starts to stop arguing, stop yelling, stop fussing, right? When kids start covering up their ears and all that mess. Ashley, girl, y'all know I got a soft spot for Ashley because Ashley used to be my favorite one. I still like Ashley, but she's not my favorite one. But Ashley, baby, that all that noise she was making and not one tear falling down that skin of yours. I said, girl, you should have rehearsed this more. Cause mama, it ain't working. Girl, I don't see not a tear. Girl, falling down your face, falling down your face, falling down your face, falling down your face, rolling down my face, rolling down my face. I don't see no tears rolling down your face, mama. I didn't see not one tear fall out of either side of Ashley's face. So I was trying to say, girl, I'm trying to say, girl, you making all this racket and all this noise, but girl, it ain't giving Oscar winning perform. It ain't even giving BET. Girl, it ain't even giving BET awards. Girl, it's not even giving, girl, it's barely making it middle school play. She a mess. Miss Dorothy. Oh, girl. I was real nervous. I was like, oh, girl. Because I don't want to talk about Miss Dorothy. Y'all know Miss Dorothy is my girl. She the one who told Candace about me. But Miss Dorothy, y'all know I give Dorothy a little piece, too. She was on her best behavior. I was like, I know she about to embarrass Candace. I just know it. It almost felt like she was almost headed there. And then she reeled it back in a little bit. Can I say something? Side note. Ronald Reagan Airport. Is that the airport that Candace picked her mama up from? I don't know. I'm assuming that it was. I don't know. When I tell you that Uber Lyft system is absolutely horrible. Girl, when I tell you it is horrible. If you've ever been to, I think it's DCA. If you've ever been to DCA before and caught the Lyft Uber, caught a Uber or Lyft, tell the people how horrible it is. It is a mess, girl. It just be cars everywhere, girl. You trying to find an Uber. You trying to find your Uber. Girl, every time I go, I have to give a description because it's literally just cars everywhere. I got on a blue jacket with girl, a backpack, girl, a green hat, girl, sunglasses, girl, I got on white tennis. I gotta have to give a full description. A mess. Anyway, child. The birthday party, Giselle has a birthday party. Giselle and Jamal have a birthday party for the girls. It turned out to be really, really nice. Jamal, he did come. Now it makes sense why because I was like, why is Jamal on this? Why is Jamal on this camera, on this show? Why you got this man back on this show? Because after all he's done and embarrassed you, but okay, girl, he was there for his daughter's birthday. Okay, it makes sense. Candace has a kind of like a barbecue, basically, to celebrate her getting her second degree. I thought it was so cute when Wendy walked in and was like, 2 degrees? Come on, 2 degrees. Okay. It ain't 4, but it's 2. That's what Wendy was saying. That tent, maybe it was because I don't think they have I think that backyard is kind of, it leans, lean back. Hey, I think the backyard leans a little bit. Not leans, y'all get what I'm trying to say. So the tent, that tent was looking real struggle-ish. Then there was a snake outside. I said, ooh, girl. Ooh, I hope somebody got the snake. Candace talks about Dorothy and Chris's relationship, because Dorothy did a fool last year. We're not going back going back to last year, girl. She said Dorothy apologized the best way she knew how, which is a mess. That's still a mess. I mean, but at the end of the day, I guess you got to take what you can get because Dorothy ain't going nowhere and Chris ain't going nowhere, at least no time soon. When's the wedding, Robin? That's what Karen asks Robin. Robin starts to lying. It's just gonna be the 4 of us. And I'm like, who the 4? And then I forgot she had those 2 sons. The Carter boys, whatever they call the Dixon boys. So she says it's gonna be the 4 of them. I'm with Karen. Girl, just tell us y'all just gonna stay shacking up. Girl, because at this point, like, you make it bigger than what it needs to be by not just telling us, girl, we've decided not to get married. What works for us works for us. Because, girl, you don't want to be married and Juan don't want to be married. And even if you do get married, girl, Quantas is kept, girl, with all that mess going on up there at Coppin University, girl, you might not want to marry one. Hey! Okay, let me leave it alone, girl. Robin and Wendy. Robin asks Wendy, why were you so comfortable having that combo one-on-one and not in a group? See, Robin, that's your problem. You want to, sometimes we know watching these shows that things usually tend to turn out a disaster when there is a group setting. Most of the time, from what I've seen, if it is one-on-one, things tend to go the right way and not left. You want to have a group setting, right? And then the thing is, girl, why does Wendy have to come to you and say something or have a conversation in the group when you were the one who been on her ass quiet as it's kept? And even if you don't want to go back to last season, even this season, you were the one that was on 100 when y'all went to that little thing that Ashley threw when you were walking up to Wendy. Like, and Wendy sitting there talking about, this is my second time coming to you. I wanted to come to you again. Girl! That's why I was looking at Wendy and Candace like, what the fuck is going on? Why are you going up to Robin again? When she was literally walking up to you. And then her and Sharice had you looking crazy by calling you a liar and saying that we're not going backwards. It was just crazy to me. It looked crazy to me. It looked crazy that Wendy was sitting there, girl, even entertaining this foolishness from Robin. Robin wants an audience. And that's what it sounds like to me. Karen and Candace, they have a conversation. She basically tells Karen, look, I said it. I was being messy. Well, she ain't said it. I think she said that in her confessional. Basically, she said, I was being messy. I was drunk. She was talking with a demon. One thing I'm glad that Karen did point out, Miss Ashley was lit that night too, right? She said something like that. Basically, asking was Ashley drunk. And then she said we both were. She said, so y'all was both being shady. That is what, girl, I'm so happy Karen said that, because the truth of the matter is, anybody knows if you and Ashley, whatever you said, you did say it, but bitch, you wasn't having no kiki session by your damn self. So when Karen said, was Ashley lit that night too? Yes, we both were. Okay, so she was being shady too. Right, exactly. Because truth be told, Ashley was the one who even introduced Ray and Karen into the conversation. And then Candace thinking she had a home girl. And I'm not taking anything away from Candace because Candace said what she said. But bitch, I wouldn't apologize unless they had made, had an agreement that they were going to move forward and leave the past in the past. That's the only way I could see Candace apologizing to Karen. Get them goes. Girl, that reality TV sound like a headache to me. It sounds like it sounds like I would probably cry every day when I got home. As soon as the cameraman left, I'll probably be busting out into tears. Like, what is going on, girl? What is going on? Anyways, child, I'm done. Girl, it was a cute little episode, but wasn't a lot going on. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.